I'm Johnny Millennium, this is Victor Lucas, and this is Film Fury. And we want to thank our partners at the VFS School of Film. So the Blu-ray of Get Out is out, and we had never seen this movie before.
I think I got caught up in the Nintendo Switch hype and covering all of that stuff when I think I was away from the city, so I never got to see the screening of it, never got to invite you out to the screening of it, and everybody kept saying, where's your review of Get Out? Where's your review of Get Out? And finally here it is on Blu-ray. It's been out for a little bit, but I actually paid my own money to get this movie because I wanted to see this thing so badly, and I was not disappointed. How about yourself?
It's so interesting. You're like, we got to watch this movie, Get Out, you know, so we can review it. And I'm like, I thought it was going to be a movie about some racial tension. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to watch this type of movie, you know? And I watched it, and oh my God, me and my wife were on the edge of our seats, and all the way through, she's just yelling this at the screen, "Get out! Get out!" I couldn't believe how into it she was. I was into this movie as well.
I'm sure that's what how the title came to be. You know, they were probably screening dailies, and they were all screaming at the screen. Jordan Peele is the director. He's become the cause celeb, or the cause celebrity in Hollywood, because he's gone from being part of a comedy troupe and performing with Key. And Key and Peele have done some amazing things on television. They made that Keanu movie with the crazy cat last year, which was not that great. But he's gone from the comedy world into building a very suspenseful, dramatic / horror movie here.
What a move to go from that to that, and to pull it off so well.
And now he's got all kinds of opportunities, and we're going to see Jordan Peele's name all over the place. He's going to be producing, starring, and directing lots of cool projects. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get a sequel to this movie. You can tell we're dancing around trying not to tell you too much about the plot here, right? Because this is
we got to talk about it.
You got to experience it, though.
How about at this point we'll say spoilers? We're in spoiler zone. We're in the
pretty
spoiler
much,
zone.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
You can't, because you can't even start going into this road without spoiling a little bit.
It's on home video. You can go check it out. You can stop this review and go Get Out and go watch it.
Well, we should say that you should.
Yes.
Right? We'll give you the scores after we talk a little bit about it. But it really kind of projects that it's about one thing, this racial tension, and this black guy that's going into this town where it feels like...
With his girlfriend, she's introducing him to her parents for the very first time. And she's like, no, everybody be fine. It doesn't matter. Who cares? And we as an audience, we don't care either. But my God, as soon as he's introduced to her parents, it gets so uncomfortable.
It really does.
The entire movie, you're completely uncomfortable. How are you feeling? You watched it with your wife.
Yeah, it's unnerving, and you know, it's kind of topical, I think, because there is so much racial tension still, especially in the United States, between, you know, black people and white people right now, and it's I think that was the hot button topic, that issue that Jordan Peele was able to kind of capitalize on. The thing that's amazing about this movie is that as much as it is about racial tension, it's about a lot more than that, and there are some twists and turns that are incredibly effective and surprising in this. But yes, I mean, what we see on the surface is that black people are treated very weirdly by the townspeople.
Oh, very weirdly. Like, you know, he's introduced to everybody, and they're like, "Oh, you must be really good at sports."
Yes.
All this stereotypical bullshit.
It's so overt.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. I said to Kim, I'm like, I can't watch this movie, man. This movie's driving me crazy.
Well, you just get angry, and you just not only want him to get out, but like hit some people on the way out.
Yeah,
you know?
We were cheering at the end of the movie. Like, where's the audience for this guy?
Yeah, and then you understand that there is something a lot more sinister than just this idea of a town that
it's kind of racist.
Yeah, that's sort of backwards ass and is looking at everything from a totally, you know, awful kind of perspective. There's a reason why, you know, the black people in this movie are treated the way they are, and also act the way that they do.
They act like robots. They don't act like human beings. They act like they're programmed. And that all comes because of the mother has been using hypnotherapy on some people. There's the spoilers for it. And let me say, the hypnotherapy part bothered me because I quit smoking from hypnotherapy.
Did you?
I know it works.
Oh my God, are you kidding? Oh my God.
So I was watching the movie, I'm like, this this could have been me.
Oh my God, that must have been so unnerving.
It was so weird.
Because you're putting your life
in
honestly,
hand,
this is probably a terrible movie for the hypnotist industry. What do you call that industry?
I don't know. She programmed me to come and do a show with you, and I can't stop doing it. Save me, everybody! Save me!
You can never get out.
I want to get back to reviewing video games.
No, we're going to be reviewing movies and Blu-rays
forever. But yeah, no. So that aspect, I was like, okay, it's just that aspect. But later on, you find out there's a whole other aspect of that. They're not just using hypnotherapy on people to make them like slaves or whatever. They're taking. This is the part the movie kind of falls a little bit apart. It's so weird. Taking parts of people's brains and putting them into the black people in this film. It's fucked up.
Yeah, it's basically it's about mind control and taking over the bodies of victims, and it's really, really disgusting and gross and twisted and somehow weirdly plausible as well, the way that this fiction has all been put together. And everybody in this movie is amazing.
Yes,
and especially I think Allison Williams is terrific in this.
Oh yeah.
Very surprising, very, very cool, effective performance there. And our star Daniel Kaluuya is incredible in this. There's so many scenes where he is just completely frozen and all he can act with is with his eyes, and he's crying and reacting, and he's so present and so unnerving, and you just feel for this guy. He's tortured in this movie in a myriad of different ways, and beautiful, lovely, nuanced performance.
Even
by him.
his silence,
Yes.
is so much when people are saying the most outlandish things to him in this town, and he's just standing there going, shaking his head, going, "What?"
Bottled up. You can feel like everything.
Yeah, but he's trying to make the girlfriend happy by sticking it out for the weekend.
Yes.
And then we find out that she's in on the plot to bring, to lure all these black people to the town to take over them. It's so crazy. Kim called it.
Yeah.
Kim figured out the whole plot midway through. She's like, no, and she kind of ruined the movie for me. She's like, this is this, this is this. I'm like, man, movies have a hard time surprising us these days, don't they?
I was surprised. I was surprised by definitely that relationship, but there were other cool surprises in this. But the thing that I was most surprised with was the elegance and the maturity and the complexity of the way that this was all built for us. It was a really well constructed intelligent film.
Absolutely.
And it keeps you guessing, but it also keeps you kind of, I think, impressed all the way along.
Yeah, it is one of those types of horror movies, psychological movies where it has jump scares. We've seen all that before.
Yeah.
The plot is kind of some things we've seen before, but they do it with this whole brand new angle, and it does kind of create something brand new. I'd actually say this movie will become a cult film in time.
It's already a blockbuster success. It made tons of money at the box office, and it's just starting its life in home video. The word's going to get out there. It's a phenomenal piece of work from everyone. I also have to call out Catherine Keener and Bradley Whitford as the parents. They're both amazing in this movie. This was a real tour de force. Now, if you get the Blu-ray as well, you get a bunch of documentary content,
commentary track,
you get deleted scenes and a different ending in there as well. The commentary track, it's worth it, especially if you're kind of studying film, or if you're kind of have aspirations to make your own horror movie out there, or if you're just a fan of Key and Peele and want to see the absolute mega talent that these guys, particularly Jordan Peele at this point, has. Phenomenal work. What are you going to give Get Out?
I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 from me as well. Very cool stuff. Now, we just want to point out, too, that if you are interested in making your own movie, say you're not a big fan of horror movies like Get Out, you can learn to do that in 1 year at the VFS School of Film. Go to VFS.edu for more information.